Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our paint through video of the Dune Imperium Deluxe set. This is the bonus set that came out after Dune Imperium came out with all the miniatures for the armies. So we're going to do a paint through of these. I've had this for a while, but I've never even gotten the components boxed in. So you can hear the top tray has all the units in it. We'll do a quick unboxing of it here and show you how it's organized, and then I'll jump into the painting video. So here's the boards for both Rise of Ix and for the main Dune Imperium game. You've got the Landsrad and Chome, you've got the Ix board and the main board. They all fit in the top tray. Then you saw there was those units tray that I just took the units out of. And then down below there's these three boxes. The first box is two sections. It has a top layer with the turn sheets and then all the player character cards. And it's pretty nice. They fit all there perfectly. And actually these are sized, so if you have sleeves, I think they will work. I don't have the big card sleeve, but I do have my small card sleeves. Here we've got our water, our spice, and our Solaris. This is interesting. It's a box for the components that you're actually not going to use in the main game anymore. Obviously there's the House Hagal cards here for solo play. But then there's some of these tokens that came in the original game have been replaced by minis. So all of these get stored away in case you want to just keep them for the future. And then there's a great tray to get you into board play. So you've got all the cards. And as you can see that they're bagged and they fit perfectly in this. So that was well designed. Sometimes I had this problem with my War of the Rings set. You've got your intrigue cards. Again, all of them are sleeved. These are the Rise of Ix resources cards. They're in there. And then we can just place in the things like the Harkonnen cards and the Seeker Hunters can fit in there as well. So yeah, this is really organized. Glad I got this set. Let's get into miniature painting. So here's the raw minis. You've got 4 factions. These are basically the Atreides armored ones, as we saw in the first Dune. And these are kind of like the Sardaukar looking guys. And then you've got your Mentat miniature, who was a black piece of wood, like a black meeple before. These all will replace the meeple kind of figures. These were those tokens I just showed you. You've got Sardaukar for the Empire, Highlighter, Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother. And then these are the agents for each of the 4 players. These were those small meeple type figures. Some of these are stylized by Fremen, Sardaukar, Mentats, and I guess Bene Gesserit. I'm going to pack all this stuff away and clear the table, get all the art stuff out, and we'll start painting minis. I'm going to start out with I was very lazy. I don't have a flat black primer, but I do have a brown primer, and I do have a black, and then I have a flat clear coat. So I'm going to sort of, I was just lazy to go out to the store, so I'm just going to kind of use up this I got this flat brown primer that I'm going to hit the minis with. I think this will be great for the Fremen figures anyway, because they kind of had that sand color. But then I'm going to hit all these minis with a black on top of that primer coat. I'm doing really light coats, so I'm switching over to black here now. This is a gloss black, but what I'll do is I'll matte the gloss down with the matte clear coat. And this, 3 sprays later, I saved myself from going to the shop and getting black matte. I think I bought some gloss paints by mistake instead of matte last time I ordered them, so I just want to use them up anyway. So, and I think also the brown will look kind of cool. I want to see how that one paints. I actually painted the legendary dragon from Joan of Arc with a brown, brown undercoat. So move these minis out of the way. I get them off the board. As you can see, it's got brown and blacks here. I'm really interested in these. His Stilgar figure looks pretty cool. Also the Sardaukar, I kind of like those, especially that's Imperial. Here's a Fremen piece. And these are sort of like Bene Gesserit. Or they could be Bene Tleilax too, who knows. Here's the Reverend Mother. You can see that the clear coat is pretty much matted these. I will be painting over all these. This is just the base coat, but I don't want to paint on a gloss paint coat, base coat. So get these off the board. I didn't even tape them down. I just was real careful with them. Take them off their sleeves. Then I'm going to start out with a Tamiya flesh tone. Hit all the faces with that flesh tone. The Fremen Atreides players, they've got a face shield and a small slit where you can see the eyes. So I just kind of hit the whole face with it, and then I will cover over the face shield later. But you can see our minis have all got some faces, and obviously these Sardaukar have got a sort of a helmet on, so those don't matter. And Reverend Mother also has that kind of chainmail veil that she wore. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint through some of the Atreides with the gray, because that Atreides armor has kind of got the white and gray. I'm just going to selectively hit the armor points on this, and just sort of almost like a dry brush, just to kind of hit them with it, and then use the black undercoat to kind of emphasize, kind of like a stormtrooper look, right? I've got this NATO black as well that I'm going to paint the Harkonnen players with. I kind of did overpaint some of the flesh tone, and then I also missed some of the priming coat, so I want to really hit these real well. You can see that some of these figures, you can still see the red there. I just didn't hit them with enough primer spray, but that's okay. This will all adhere pretty well, and we'll do a number of layers on these, and they'll be good to go. Get the base coat on these. Sort of the Bene Gesserit style looking ones, or Tlilaxu, whatever they can be. Since these are the players, they have to be flexible to be used by different factions, right? So, and I'm also going to hit the Harkonnen bases with the red. You know, from a gameplay point of view, you want to have. I'm going to kind of lock these in a bit, right? So the Harkonnens will be the red, and that will go with the Sardaukar agent figures, and I will use the Atreides green for the Atreides. I was going to use the sand for the Fremen, but I kind of went with the Atreides green because they are Atreides forces. And those Bene Gesserit or Tlilaxu type figures, they can be, I don't know, they can be Tlilaxu, they can be Bashirs. You know, there's all kinds of things like those troops. They do look like Atreides also. It's a bit hard to match how they've got them. That's it. Sort of, instead of making custom minis for the player types, they've just used any kind of minis here. So now I'm going to hit over the Fremen with the NATO black for the still suits, but it'll also reveal some of that brown underneath, and I kind of like the way it'll actually, the deep cracks will show sort of like the lighter color. So it's like almost like the caked sand is inside, like moisture and sand is caked into the still suit, sort of something like this. And then obviously I'll leave the head covering. I'll touch those up later. But yeah, we got the still suits, hitting those still suits up. Next up is hitting up the yellow bases for what will effectively be, you know, they could be the Imperial players, or they could be the Mentats. You know, you can use these for a number of different troops. But it will sort of align with the yellow token, which we've got for those kind of Mentat looking figures. Next up, I'm doing the Guild Highliner in kind of a bronze color here. I'll probably try to hit some kind of effect on the inside with this too. I'm thinking blue, and I'll probably base it with a metallic color. Looking good. You notice how they've got those raised globes for the point, right? So you've got Stilgar with the point, you've got the highlighter with the point. I'm going to base these with the green just because they will be, you know, this is more like, this is one of those cases similar to Cthulhu Death May Die, where you sort of are opting for painting options that are more like board game pieces than miniature armies. So there's a realism and there's an immersion here, but there's also just the ease of play. Like I would like to see red, yellow, green, and blue on the bases, so it's easier to tell whose minis are who when you're doing the when you're playing these on the tabletop. Now these are the Sardaukar. These guys are real fun. I'm hitting them with a a very light tan gray. It's almost like these suits are supposed to be white, but they're kind of been weathered. Sort of have some sort of like that old computer plastic color, right? Some yellowing has happened on them. And then we'll also hit these guys with a wash afterwards to get some of those details. These are really cool images, and they're actually the moldings are the miniature molds are so good that a wash in these will really pop out all the details. So it'll really require not all that much painting on these. Again, I'm thinking that these guys, you know, again, I always do that dialogue where I wonder if I'm going to paint these with a clear gloss or with a clear flat matte. I'm going to go with matte with these. I think it's more like the Dune aesthetic to have matte, so I'll go ahead with that. Yep, they're coming out great. You can see them with the wash. They look really good already. Yeah, I'm really excited to jump into another gameplay. I'll probably do a gameplay this month of these. So after this, if you guys like and subscribe, you can ring the bell and you'll get notified when I do upload a gameplay. I haven't recorded one yet, obviously, because I'm painting these minis, but I will do one soon now that I've got these worked on. So here you go. Here you got Fremen, you've got the Mentat, you've got the Sardaukar, you've got the guild highlighter in the back, all the units, so you can kind of see what the painting's looking like for these. I will also do some painting on the logos on the bases to match these colors. So red for the highlighter, purple for the Bene Gesserit, and the like. And these replace those tokens now on the game board. So let's get the clear coat on these. I've got the matte clear coat and do light pass on these. Like as you guys notice, I did not tape these down, so I'm just trying to keep the spray light enough. You can see they shake a little if I'm a little too close with the nozzle. I think it's a good technique too, where you're really just misting these with multiple passes from multiple directions, and it gets a nice light and even clear coat on the minis. Let's take a close-up look. So we'll bring these back inside by magic of camera, and we will do some hero shots of these. Yeah, so looking forward to getting these on the tabletop. I think it's going to be super fun to play these. And I'll go through the minis one by one on the... we'll do a rotation of each one. Listen, you guys know my style. I'm not super neat painter. I just like to get them painted and get them on the board. But, not bad. They're not bad. This is pretty much a Saturday afternoon getting all these done. So, yeah. Batch painting style. We've got the Reverend Mother here. I dry brushed her chainmail veil, and I have the Gom Jabbar box there in blue. The highlighter, Stilgar in the Mentat. Kind of looks like Gurney a bit. We've got our Sardaukar representing the forces of Shaddam V. We've got our Sardaukar representing, say like a Harkonnen player as the agents. Looking very, very cool. These figures, I kept them real simple and white. I gave them silver Nikes. These guys, the Off-World Kick Squad, Bene Gesserit, Face Dancers, whatever they can be. These are obviously Fremen, but they're still suits. You can see how the still suits have got a grimy look from that undercoat. And then here's a assortment of the armies. And you guys will see those in detail when we start doing the play. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Overall, this has been pretty fun. Looking forward to jumping back into the game, and if you guys want to check out the gameplay, ring the bell and you can get notified. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.